Welcome to Lesson 22, where we tackle the one operation every Ubuntu admin eventually faces, jumping from one LTS to the next. Today it's 22.04 to 24.04, using do release upgrade, Canonical's official tool that understands phased rollouts, kernel module rebuilds, and the third-party PPAs that will absolutely break your host if you try to wing it with app. We'll walk the LTS lifecycle, run a proper pre-flight checklist with an LVM snapshot for rollback, execute both interactively and scripted, and finish with a fleet upgrade via Ansible. The rule that holds the whole lesson together: always have a rollback ready before you start. Before we touch any commands, let's get the calendar straight. Ubuntu ships an LTS every 2 years in April of even years, and each one gets 5 years of standard support, plus another 5 through ESM on Ubuntu Pro. That's the 10-year window we leaned on back in Lesson 17. Interim releases like 23.10 only get 9 months, so they have no place on a server. And the upgrade path is strictly linear, 20.04 to 22.04 to 24.04, one hop at a time, no skipping. For production, set prompt equals never in, etc. update manager, release upgrades, and upgrade on your schedule. Ideally on the 0.1 release around July, once the early adopters have flushed out the regressions. With the release cadence sorted, here's the part most people skip and regret: the pre-upgrade checklist. Do release upgrade is mostly safe, and mostly is doing a lot of work in that sentence. So before anything else, take a restic backup of archive, etc. and your databases. That's the L18 callback. Then cut LVM snapshots of root and your DB volumes, which is your instant rollback from Lesson 9. From there, run a full upgrade and reboot to start from a clean state. Confirm you've got at least 10 gigs free on root and 500 megs on boot. Disable every third-party PPA because they will break the upgrade and clear any held packages. 10 minutes here saves 6 hours of incident recovery. Print it, follow it, every single time. Checklist done? Good. Now kick it off, but always from inside screen or tmux, because if your SSH drops mid-upgrade, you don't want the process dying with it. Do release upgrade will walk you through 3 phases: source list rewrite, the long download and install, then obsolete package cleanup. It'll spin up a backup SSHD on port 1022. Say yes to that, it's saved more than one career. And when it prompts about config files like SSHD config, keep your current version. You hardened it back in Lesson 13. Don't let the upgrade undo that work. Read every prompt. Don't just mash Y. Now, what if you're upgrading a fleet and can't babysit each box? You need headless mode, and Ubuntu gives you 2 levers: the non-interactive front-end flag, plus UCFR force config to tell DPKG to keep your existing configs by default. The pattern on screen wraps it properly. Snapshot first, trap any error to auto-revert the LV merge and reboot, run the upgrade with D, then post-flight checks. Version string, critical services, health endpoint. Only if everything passes do you drop the snapshot. The risk? Config conflicts get decided silently, so you must audit, check, etc. afterward. This is CI ready, but it is not fire and forget. So the upgrade went sideways. Now what? You have 3 tiers, picked by how much downtime you can stomach. Tier 1 is the LVM snapshot merge from Lesson 9. Reboot into the old kernel via grub, run LV convert, merge, reboot again, and you're back on 22.4 in about 15 minutes. Tier 2 assumes the snapshot is gone. Spin up a clean VM and restore from your restic backup, the drill you rehearsed in Lesson 18, roughly 1 to 4 hours. Tier 3 is the nuclear option. Terraform apply, Ansible pull, restore data, flip DNS. Choose by RPO and RTO. And notice Tier 1 only exists because you took 10 minutes of prep. Now scale that single host procedure to a fleet. 1 server at a time takes days. All at once takes down production. The pattern is a rolling upgrade. Ansible drains traffic from the load balancer, takes the LVM snapshot from Lesson 9, runs a restic backup from Lesson 18, then fires do release upgrade, headless. The 2 lines that matter most: Serial 25%, so only a quarter of the fleet moves at once, and max fail percentage 0, meaning a single failure halts the entire rollout before it cascades. Bookmark this slide. It's the 95% you'll actually type on upgrade day. Status checks up top. LSB release, the supported releases query, and do release upgrade -CT to see if anything's even on offer. Then the upgrade itself, always inside screen so a dropped SSH doesn't kill it, with the headless flag for scripted runs. Canonical auto opens a backup SSHD on port 1092. Remember that one when your main session dies mid-upgrade. 3 logs live under /var/log/dist upgrade, and if you need to abort, do it before the downloads finish. Then dpkg configure -a and apt fix broken install to clean up. Now the commands are the same whether you're upgrading 1 box or 1,000. What changes is the choreography. A home server, pour a coffee, run it interactively in screen, done in an hour. 10 hosts, clone 1 to LXD, prove the script, then batch through. At the 100 mark, you're reaching for that L20 Ansible playbook, rolling 25% at a time with load balancer drains. Past 1,000, stop upgrading entirely. Build a parallel fleet with Terraform and swap traffic. And for stateful databases, always failover first and upgrade the replica. One last rule, start for a reason. Don't chase the GA release. Wait for the .1 in July. 3 months of regression fixes makes you orders of magnitude safer. So with the strategy locked in, here are the 5 things that actually bite in production. Number 1 is the classic. A third-party PPA with no package for the new release, and app dies at 60%. Comment out every file and sources, .list.d before you start. 2. SSH drops mid-upgrade, which is why you run inside screen or tmux. And remember, do release upgrade spins up a backup SSAD on port 1022. 3. Disk fills. Give yourself 10 gigs on root, half a gig on boot. 4. Don't auto-accept config prompts or you'll wipe your L13 SSHD hardening and L12 UFW rules. And 5. The one that defines this whole course, skip the LVM snapshot and a Python version bump costs you 6 hours of rustic restore. 5 minutes of prep, 5 hours saved. And that's lesson 22 in 6 skills. You know the LTS cadence and why the .1 release is the safe target. You run the pre-upgrade checklist with Restic, LVM, disk, PPAs, and holds. You drive do release upgrade interactively under screen. You script it headless with non-interactive front end and a rollback trap. You pick the right recovery tier, 15 minutes on LVM, hours on Restic, longer on a full rebuild, and you roll the fleet with Ansible at 25% serial behind a load balancer drain. Next up, lesson 23, the grand finale, a 30-point capstone that pulls every lesson from 0 to 22 into one challenge. Upgrades automated, LTS lifecycle, pre-flight and snapshot, run and rollback, fleet via Ansible, all 4 boxes checked. 1 lesson left. Lesson 23 is the grand finale, a 30-point capstone across foundation, services, hardening, and operate, synthesizing everything from lesson 0 through 22 into a single challenge. A production-ready Ubuntu server in 1 day. Finish it, and you've earned Ubuntu mastery. See you there.